Hello, gamers. Welcome back to another episode of the Cuddlepunk podcast. I am your host, the mastermind, Veronica Vext. With me today are two lovely ladies that I've been wanting to talk to for quite some time. It is Aerith and Meg. Kitty Litter are here. Ladies, how we doing today?
Hi.
Meowtastic.
Meowtastic.
Meowtastic. That's the only way that it can. That's the only way that we can hope for it to be, frankly.
Yeah.
I love your hat.
Thank you so much. I got the I found this at Belmont Vintage next to the exchange, and I was sent it to my family group chat, and because I have no money right now, so I was just being like, if I had the money, I'd buy this fucking thing. And then my sister just sent me money for it because I don't know why, but it was very cool.
Can I tell you a personal story?
If it involves the Muppets, you can talk for as long as you want to about it.
Great.
Baby, look right here.
Is that a Fraggle?
It is a Muppet Whatnot that I got for my 13th birthday from the FAO Schwartz thing that they were doing. The Muppets were my first, like, special subject, which should have been a sign that I was autistic, but nobody caught on to it.
Muppets is honestly, like, one of the best, like, queer family analogies I've ever seen.
Thank you. For fuck's sake. This is a real thing. I want a pinup tattoo of Janice from the Electric Mayhem because in my head canon she's trans, and that's the only reason why she's playing guitar, because her boyfriend's on bass.
That
LOL.
honestly, it would explain a lot.
It would explain a lot, but please, your story.
Okay, so the 9th grade, I was given this neon yellow, like raver yellow shirt with Animal, like DJing,
Incredible.
like scratching. And I loved the Muppets so much, I would wear it, and everyone would make fun of me every day. And then I'd be in the sun, and it would like blind people. So eventually, like, my mom got rid of it just because, like it would, if I wore it in the summertime, it was a hazard.
Your mom got rid of your built-in bully protection. That's a shirt that, like, if somebody mocks you for it, you just fucking blast them with the light.
Right, yeah.
Honestly, I wish I had been as intuitive then.
We can only hope. We can only hope.
I wish I had that shirt now.
Anybody in the comments for some reason knows about this neon Animal DJ shirt, please send it to Aerith or Meg of Kitty Litter, and I'm sure one of them will be able to get it to the other one.
I actually don't know where she lives.
What?
It was a bad bit.
I was like, I'm breaking up Kitty Litter. We're 5 minutes in.
I'm homeless right now, Loki. TBH. But it's okay.
I came real close. You're going to make it through, I assure you.
Yeah.
Let's get into what I want to start off with is this is already off to a fantastic start. I want to get into your individual
You make
music.
electro pop.
Yeah.
This is the literally there's no questions. I'll just have you guys rant for an hour. How's that?
Oh, God.
Oh, work. Sorry, continue.
I
I'll
want to
stop
get
derailing things.
yours. As soon as the question is finished, you can derail as long as you need to. I assure you of that. So you guys are together as Kitty Litter. I want to get into your individual like music journeys before we get into the history of Kitty Litter itself.
You want to start?
Sure. So I don't know how far you want to go back.
As far back as you want.
Okay. Well,
I want to know the whole
music
story of Megan Aerith.
Cool. My whole music career started
1994.
Hey! Yeah,
O.J.
wow.
Simpson breaks his 45-year no-killing streak.
It's important context.
Oh my
Sorry.
It is.
Anyways, I learned piano when I was like 3, as a lot of musicians do. And then I kept playing piano for like a decade. And then I had GarageBand on my iPad. And I started making like guitar covers and piano covers of songs that I liked when I was like in middle school. So I'm not going to list what songs they were for obvious reasons because I was in middle school. But I started making my own like original kind of soft like cloud beats and stuff with like little pretty vocals over it for like a good while. Like I'd say like 14 to 17 or 18 on my SoundCloud. And then after I moved, all of that kind of went on pause because I started going to school and I moved to a whole new city where I didn't know anybody and, you know, all of that shit. And then like a couple years later, Aeri posted a beat on Instagram and was like, I'm looking for vocals for somebody to do like lyrics over this. And then I slid up on it and then we made our first song together.
That was what, like July
of
22?
22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was like in middle school, I used to just kind of like pick like notes out on the piano and stuff. And then my dad was in a Christian rock band, and he needed someone to record. So, and he didn't know, he was like afraid of the computer, you know, like he would like use it for like solitaire and like, I'm assuming porn. And
I was about to say that, like, okay, so solitaire is godly, but Pro Tools is not.
Right.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
That is that's fair.
Pro Tools is an affront to nature. I'm not an ally of Pro Tools.
An ally.
It's pointless. Use a different one.
Right.
Sorry to Pro Tools lovers out there.
Anyways.
No, so he was afraid of the computer. So I learned how to do that. And then my friend showed me a video of Daft Punk at Coachella. And immediately I was like, I want to do this. So I started making like electronic music and making like really like shitty like dubstep and like house remixes and stuff like that for a long time. And then I started hanging out with a lot of like my friends were rappers at the time, so I was making beats for them. And at one point I got a kind of viral semi-popular hit in the emo rap community.
Do go on.
Okay, so like it's like I recorded this when I was living in like this like really sketchy house. I was renting a room in from Craigslist. And I recorded it in my car because that's where the acoustics were best. My landlord was digging holes in the backyard in the middle of the night. I was recording it, and so I made this like really dumb, just like self-indulgent, super like romanticize your own sadness like type song. And
TX2 core essentially.
It was like Lil Peep core. Like
okay,
this was
okay,
like
okay.
This is like right after like he passed, even I think.
Right.
And this is like 2018, 2017, 2018, something like that. And so I made that, and then I posted it in like 2019, and I just decided I had just gotten dumped, and I had like a ton of free time suddenly. So I was like, I'm gonna spend all of my time trying to promote this. It eventually got to like 1 million streams, and now I got like so self-conscious about it, and it's so like masculine, and it attracted a weird fan base, so I removed it from everything. Now I'm in Chicago, and I met Meg through my friend, and by friend I mean my boyfriend.
Right.
I was thinking of Meg, my friend.
Oh, okay.
Who I met through my boyfriend.
Right.
So my boyfriend was working at Goodwill where Meg was working.
With me.
And he would say things like, oh, there was this awesome Kesha shirt at work today, and Meg hid it so she could buy it.
Have that shirt.
Yeah. And I was like, I need to meet Meg. So we met, and then we just kind of like Meg said, like I posted that I wanted someone to sing a song, and she swiped up, and the rest is history, honestly.
So that posting of needing somebody to sing over the beat, that was the creation of what would eventually go on to become Kitty Litter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing. You guys just put out earlier this year a remix album of all of the stuff from the album that you put out last year, the Kitty Litter self-titled. It seems
Yes.
like in that like kind of scene that you're in with like Haley Elizabeth and Coco Joey and Anita Velveeta and Alaska, like all of these people, it seems like there is a lot of remix culture involved in that, and just wanting everybody to be able to have like their own spin on each other's songs.
Well, I think that's like one thing that's really important. Like in community, I think like part of it is like, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of times I have like so many remixes coming out because I'll just make them and then send them to the artist.
So they're
like,
not
hey,
asking you to do this stuff, like the stuff with like for specifically like the Haley one that you did, Aerith. Like that's mostly just that was that something that you had like she had asked for you to do, or just something that you were like doing anyway?
Haley had asked me to do that one. That one was actually like really last minute. She sent me the tape without the remixes a few months back, and then said she wanted to put a couple remixes on there. And then a few months later, she asked me if I wanted to do it, and just kind of put it together in a couple of days. That's actually, I love that remix. That one was a lot of fun to make.
I was listening to it earlier today. It goes real hard.
Thank you. That one is one of my favorites. But I put it together and then sent it to her, and she loved it. And then I found out Galen Tipton was also on that tape, which is crazy. I love Galen Tipton. And honestly, just like my thing is like when I hear a song that I love, I want to make my own version of it. And I want to hear other people's versions of it. Cause I like sometimes when I'm making a song, I sit here and think, oh, you know who would make a crazy remix of this? Coco Joey or Anita Velveeta. So like honestly, like I think a lot of this just has to do with like how much we love to collaborate and love to work on each other's stuff and how much we inspire each other.
It's been really cool seeing that kind of like group of you guys pop up because I have been able to I found out about you guys through Anita, and then I found out about Joey through you guys, and then I also found out about I didn't know Haley until I saw her at your guys' show with Anita at Sub T in like April or May,
shit.
and she's a
Yeah.
fucking star. Goddamn.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
great. She's amazing. We met Haley through Coco Joey,
Mhm.
who had recommended us to work with her on a track. I don't think we ended up doing it
No.
because we got like so busy. But we started talking more and realized we had a lot in common. And then I started listening to her band Thought Crime a lot, which Thought Crime is
Oh, Haley's
incredible.
Thought Crime. Okay, that
Yeah,
makes
Haley's in
more.
Thought Crime. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that now everything makes sense.
Yeah, Haley's in Thought Crime. I'm excited about that tour they're doing with Anita.
That tour's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. But like honestly, I think what's funny is like how I met a lot of these people by chance or just through someone. Like Anita went viral on TikTok like 2 or 3 years ago, and then I added her, and we just kind of eventually became mutuals and started talking a lot, and eventually we started doing like shows and stuff.
Like the only reason that we even know Alaska and Joey is because like a year ago for my 21st birthday, I threw a little like DIY festival, and I asked both Alaska and Joey if they wanted to play a set at my little festival thing for my birthday, and we were complete strangers, and they both were like, "Sure, why not?"
Well, I had
So-
met Joey once before that.
Okay, well I didn't.
My friend had recommended me Joey. Literally, like my friend Avery was like, I think you would really like this album. I don't promote my friend's music ever, so understand that if I am sending you this, I think it is incredibly good. And I listened to the album and it was good. And then I went to see Joey perform. It was like 6 p.m. Sub T downstairs, and they had played Night of the Hunt. And for like weeks after that, all I could think was the Dark Souls line dance artist. And then I recommended Joey to her, and then that's how that came together. And then we just kind of kept doing shows together. I think we just accidentally ended up keep getting on bills with Joey and everything too.
Yeah.
Like one time we had some cancellations, and last minute, one of the other artists at our show was like, "Do you know Coco Joey? Maybe she could fill in for."
We were like, "Oh yeah."
Okay, yeah, sure.
We're familiar.
Shout out to Joey for being so willing to jump on just fucking anything, anytime to be able to play live.
It's insane. Like I think Joey was actually like just going to come to that show in general, and then like suddenly was like, okay, well I'm packing up my stuff.
I feel it's so cool to see like the way that you all influence each other. Like you can see Anita's like alt rock and Frank Zappa influence, or like Alaska's new metal stuff, like all bleed into everything else that everybody else is doing. Like it is becoming this like, oh, you can see like almost its own genre starting to form, like own subgenre of hyperpop.
Definitely.
That's pretty fucking cool.
It is pretty fucking cool.
You guys are about to go on tour with Alaska. So you talked about how you had met Joey before. Alaska, how did you end up meeting her? Because I met her the way that I meet all of my trans friends in Chicago, which is just through mod.
That's so real.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing about Alaska. Alaska's fucking tapped in everywhere all the time. Like, I'll just like, if you like mention a city to her, she'll be like, oh yeah, I know a bunch of artists there. I know we could like book a thing here and do this. I'm pretty sure Alaska was following me and regularly messaging me months before she moved to Chicago or something like that. Like, if she's going somewhere, she like meets people, she figures out the scene, like she does her research, and it's like so impressive. So we have been like kind of messaging back and forth for a while before we had actually like booked her. And then we met her, and honestly with Alaska, it was like the moment I met her, it was like, oh, this is like a kindred spirit. Like we're gonna do a lot of stuff together.
Yeah.
She's almost like, I feel like too talented for like certain demographic. Like the way that I met Alaska was that she was a guest DJ at Emo Night. a couple months ago, and
Yep.
the crowd was not feeling what she was putting down. And me and my friend Ellie are just in the background, like, how are y'all not raging to this? This is the best DJ that's ever performed at this event.
No, absolutely. Like, honestly, she's just watching her like switch from different instruments, different ways to perform, DJing different styles and everything. And like she can pick it up like that. Like she'll pick something up and then like a few weeks later she's like better than I am and I've done it for like 10 years kind of thing. Or something like that. Like it's so incredible. Like she just loves music. Like Alaska is like one of the few people that is about the music.
Absolutely. When the two of you were starting to come together on your music for Kitty Litter, did you guys feel like you had similar influences that led to the hyperpop stuff that you're making at the moment? Or was it like, oh, I've got this thing going on, I've got this thing going on, let's mix these two, and it just became hyperpop?
I feel like we had the same influences, really. Like we like a lot of the same music.
Yeah.
We always have.
There's definitely like some ways where it diverges. Like she's definitely like breakcore girl and I'm more like club gay girl.
Yeah, yeah.
But like it comes together really well though, because like you write these like dramatic emotional parts and everything, and then I just add all these like cute little sounds over it. It works out.
That is something that I did notice while going through the record, is like you two very clearly, and I appreciate that you have, it's not just Kitty Litter on all of your songs, it's also the two of you individually on all of that, because it feels like you guys feel like hyperpop girly Run the Jewels in a certain way, where it's like these two different like they're similar, but there's two different like sides of the genre that are coming together and making something even more incredible than could have happened individually.
Definitely. I've like it's definitely like the music like I would make by myself and the music like Meg would make by herself is very different than the music we make together.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because like honestly, when we make stuff together, usually it clicks pretty well if we like the material. It like I don't know, like I feel like we rarely have to discuss like what the next step is if the song's good, just because like usually like it's like usually I'll make a beat, Meg will sing over it, and then there will be some space still. So I'll reshape the beat around the stuff Meg wrote, and then I'll usually add in fill in the blanks from there.
Yeah, pretty much.
And usually it works out pretty well.
With
We're stuck on the next one, but
Yeah.
Stuck on the next one. Expand on that a bit.
Oh, it's
we're
crazy.
busy.
How, like,
Yeah, you guys are you guys have like a show every other week, it feels like, in Chicago at the very least.
I did the math, and I'm pretty sure like if you like average it out, then we've done like a show almost every other week, like statistically, for the last year, which is crazy in the first year of activity, I think.
Yeah, for the first year ever.
But no, we're busy. And then what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say, just like for coming up with the second album, like it's just so crazy how well liked our first one was, just like coincidentally how well it worked out with everybody. So it's kind of almost like really daunting to like try and follow that up with something that people will not just like the same, but like even more, and see as like a progression in our, music and stuff.
It's the 1,000 gex versus 10,000 gex problem.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And we don't want to be 10,000 gex.
Right.
I like 10,000 gex, but
okay, that makes one of us.
I like it. I don't love it though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I love is it 1,000 gex? Yeah, I love 1,000 gex. But I don't know. See, the thing is, the core about it is, I think like there are definitely things about the first record I would have done differently. There are definitely things about the first record that I think are solid but could have used some work. But the one thing about the record that I really am proud of is it is really catchy. And
incessantly catchy. I've been having this shit all day.
Yeah, and we worked really hard on that, like coming up with hooks and ideas, and then like picking them apart and putting them back together and finding ways to just reuse them in certain ways too. And it's proven to be harder to strike lightning twice, I think, just because we've written a couple songs and they are good. It's just like they're not good enough.
Yeah.
I know that everybody watching this, and especially myself, we all know that whatever you guys put out It's going to be filled with all of the pretty girl things that you could possibly hope for. It's going to be fantastic, and we all believe in you so much. When we come back, we're going to be going into a little bit more of those pretty girl things just spread throughout all of Kitty Litter and making all the pretty girl things that help them get through the day. We will be right back with more of the Cuddlepunk podcast. Welcome back to the Cuddlepunk podcast. I am your host, Veronica Vext. With me tonight is Kitty Litter. When you are as gorgeous as the two women in Kitty Litter are, you need a lot of pretty girl things to be able to get yourself through the day. So what they have agreed to do is to help me do the old Ludwig Yoinkin tweak on GQ's things that I can't live without. I have asked both Meg and Aerith to provide me with 5 things each that they cannot live without that help them get through their day. Kitty Litter, what do we got first?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. First, I feel like this one's pretty obvious. Glitter. I wear glitter on my face, my body, my eyes, my clothes. I love glitter. Glitter on my face and my Westwood chains, as they say, as Kitty Litter says.
They do be saying that.
Exactly.
You know, I've heard them say that.
I've heard them say that too. Yeah.
I've heard them say that like 26 times at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Number 2, which we both share. We share this one. PBR.
PBR is
the
so
drink
important.
for princesses. Yes. PBR is the best cheap beer you can get anywhere ever, and it's a pretty girl thing. My third one, also probably kind of obvious. Cat ears. We always switch up our cat ears at every single show, so they're essential to pretty girl things.
Hold on. Now I have a more pressing question. How many pairs of cat ears do each of you own individually?
Okay, well, I'm just going to say right now, I bought her 2. I have 12.
Mag!
Yeah.
okay, no, because this is the thing, all right? And this is what I want you to get across on your little podcast here, all right? Everyone's always like, oh, Kitty Litter is so transgender. They're cat girls. Oh my God. It's all the cis girls idea.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
I have been framed. You're a monster.
I am a monster.
This is the consequences of being in a band with a girl with so much T-girl swag.
Yeah.
Cis girl force cat femmes trans girl.
Yes, exactly. That's how it went down.
Honestly, I'd probably be a bunny girl if I wasn't stuck in this brand deal.
Right.
There's still time.
I might be normal. Who knows?
Okay. Okay, next one. Next one. Oh my God. Number 4, Miss Me jeans. I don't know if you're aware of the brand Miss Me.
I am not.
Maybe. Okay, they're the like Y2K jeans that have the super blinged out back pockets with the crosses and the angel wings and all that shit. I've got like 5 pairs of those, all thrifted.
That's where you get those?
Yes.
Damn.
They retail for like $120.
I don't think I've bought a pair of jeans in about 3 years.
That's okay. Me and you are 2 very different people because every time I go to the thrift store, I buy at least 1 pair of jeans. It's
Maybe
really
you
bad.
know what? Maybe I need to get. Here's the thing: is that I've been cutting them all into shorts, which means I think I do need to be getting back on my jean buying shit at the moment.
Perhaps, yeah.
See, but that I'd say shorts that were cut from jeans are still jeans.
I agree.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're just cropped, but your legs.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Maybe I'm being reductive here. All right, I don't know. Maybe they want to be shorts.
Yeah, you can't assume.
Anyway.
How am I supposed to add a punchline to that? That's perfect.
My 5th and final pretty girl thing is SoundCloud, because so many beautiful, sweet, awesome angel girls who make music almost always start from SoundCloud in for me it was 2016, but there are people a lot older than me out there. So
I mean,
I'm not naming
can't
names.
believe this. I'm bullied. I'm framed. Force femmed.
Yeah.
This is actually a therapy session for you, Aeri. I'm sorry. I've been talking about all the other people in there because they're all in the chat right now. They're all actually in this Zoom call. This is actually an intervention.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's actually rum in this.
You think this was just a Coke?
Okay, is it my turn?
Yes.
All right. All right. Well, PBR, obviously. Eyeliner.
Eyeliner, very
Liquid
important.
Yeah.
Especially liquid eyeliner.
Liquid eyeliner.
Mhm.
All right, like everyone's always like, "Oh, I like the gel." Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Liquid or go home.
Yeah.
It smudges for me. I don't know.
I
sweat
am
a lot, though.
home.
Oh.
I am home
was
and I
that?
use gel.
What?
I am home. I am home and I use the
But
gel.
she's
Where am I
home
supposed
and
to
she-
go?
The streets. You're going to the streets.
Going to
Where
the
I
streets.
was where I was born, where I belong.
Exactly. Yeah.
3. You know, we literally talked about what they were a minute ago. Oh yeah, my strawberry Crocs. They're white Crocs with strawberries on them. I stole them from my boyfriend. I feel legally obligated to say that because he's in the other room.
One of the things that people don't really know about transitioning is that being the girlfriend does make it so that you are obligated to get revenge on anybody who ever stole your hoodie or anything else by just stealing other people's hoodies now.
Most of my wardrobe is my boyfriend's clothes, including like this shirt. I put this on, like I was wearing my own shirt and then I just put this on to be a thief. So, you know, I'm going to take PBR off my list. PBR is not on my list anymore. Stealing my boyfriend's clothes. That's a pretty girl thing.
No, just
That's a
stealing.
pretty girl thing for fucking sure.
And the 5th thing is the DDJ 400.
Do go on. I don't know what none of those words are in the Bible.
It's a maybe not your Bible. DDJ 400. It's a DJ controller.
Gotcha.
It's discontinued now, but I know I live by mine. Anytime I have to use someone else's, I'm terrified, I'm frightened, and I'm small. With the DDJ 400, I feel safe.
Same, and I don't even know how to DJ really. I just be lying.
For the first like 5 shows, we just kept adding Hello Kitty stickers to ours. And then also like all the time when we do shows, there will be like our friends will be like, "Hey, I don't want to bring my board. Can you just bring your 400?" And the first time I lent it out, I wasn't sure. I had just gotten it, so I wasn't sure like what they were talking about. So I'm like, "You mean this?" And they're like, "I know what a 400 looks like. Every girl I've ever kissed has one."
Exactly. They're essential.
Pretty girl things.
If you have a DDG 400, you will get kissed. That's just a fact of life. These are the 10 pretty girl things that Kitty Litter cannot live without. Kitty Litter, thank you guys so much for being on this episode of the podcast. You should all make sure to go see them live across the country or across a region of the country with Alaska Jules. As you're watching this, they are currently on tour. Take a look to see if they're in your city. Kitty Litter, where can we find you?
Kitty Litter Meow on Bandcamp.
Kitty Litter, but the I's are 1s and the E is a 3.
For Twitter.
Yeah.
Or
Amazing.
Kitty Litter on like all streaming services.
Yeah.
My username everywhere is OMG_Aeri.
Mine's Angel Girl. Just like my SoundCloud, like it's always been. Since 2016.
Pretty girl things.
Yep.
You can find links to all of that in the description down below. You can also find my link tree in the description down below, which will take you to not only audio and video versions of the podcast you're watching or listening to right now, but also all of my socials, especially my TikTok and Instagram, which I have been posting to a lot more recently. If you like this episode of the podcast, please comment down below what pretty girl things that you need to survive your day. Please subscribe on all video and audio platforms. If you like and you want to help support, please consider pledging to the Cuddlepunk Podcast Patreon, where you can get a lot of cool stuff for either $3 or $5 a month. The theme song for the Cuddlepunk Podcast is Lose a Turn by Modify. You can find links to her work in the description. The logo for the yeah, Maud did the
I didn't know
Maud
that.
did the theme song for this shit.
I love Maud.
Awesome. Yeah.
She's the best. She was just on at the
cool.
beginning of this month, actually. Finally, after
What?
like a year of trying to get her on.
I'm not tapped in.
Yeah, I guess not.
You can.
I gotta get tapped in.
The logo for the Cuddlepunk Podcast is done by Lauren Young. You can find her Instagram in the description down below. Meg, Aerith, Kitty Litter, thank you so much for being on here.
Thank you.